Hey guys, Jacob Dupre here at Sweetwater. I'm sitting down with Heratch from Yamaha. Thank you so much for coming today, man.
Likewise, Jacob. Pleasure to be here.
And we are sitting down with the PSR-SX900 arranger keyboard from Yamaha.
This is a great tool for songwriters.
It's a great tool for songwriters, and that's kind of our whole thing here is that if you are a songwriter, you know, and maybe the DAW route isn't something you've experimented with, or maybe something you haven't gone into, this gets you off and running out of the gate quickly. I've been really impressed with how versatile it is, and you've also been telling me that there are new things about this keyboard and this line, a few key things that are new that make it special. So tell me about those.
Yeah, I would love to. Yeah. First, let me show you. In the center of the instrument, we have the touch screen. This is your gateway to do things on the instrument.
Sure.
Plus, you also have the buttons on the left and the right-hand side. So you basically have best of both worlds. And underneath it, this is new, which we have 6 assignable buttons. You can assign them to anything you want, and we can do that actually maybe in the middle of the video.
Sure, we should.
There's some really cool technological enhancement in the style section. One of my favorites will be the style reset. This is a great button to have when if you're performing live and let's say the vocalist goes off beat.
That can happen.
Sometimes.
Yeah.
And you hope it doesn't, right?
You do, yeah, you hope
but
not.
by the style engage, and when you press that button, it takes you back to beat 1
that's
of
useful.
the bar in a push of a button.
That's cool.
We've also added the joystick, the up and down, left and right joystick.
Yep.
On this section, we have right 1, right 2, right 3. So this is brand new to this line of arrangers. Before it used to be just 1 and 2.
Sure.
Now you have basically 3 voices that you can basically layer on top of each other. But I have to say my favorite improvement that we've done to the PSR-SX900 would be the keybed. This is a brand new keybed that we introduced in this line of instrument, and it feels awesome. And if you would like, go ahead and play one of the sounds and see how it feels.
Oh, for sure. It really does feel nice. I mean, and to be honest, you know, I'm a piano player first by heart. So like weighted key instruments are generally where I've lived most of my playing life. But being the unweighted keys, it feels nice and it's expressive.
Yeah.
And like, yeah, I definitely, I dig it for sure. Yeah.
So why don't we actually get into it and create a song from scratch?
Sure.
One of the important steps is to maybe figure out the chord progressions for the intro that we both created, right?
With this, yeah.
We can pull up a sound, a voice, one of the internal here, and then maybe come up with a few chords that you like to play.
I really like this grand piano sound, but I may want to pull in an EP sound.
Sure.
Maybe like a Rhodes kind of a thing. So, okay, there's a good number. DX, don't think I want a DX. Maybe a suitcase, yeah. Let's see, actually, what does a suitcase jazz sound like? Wow, that's a really warm one. Maybe I'll try this one. A little
that's nice.
Mellower. I like this one, yeah. Yeah, I like that sound.
So that's the first thing you're actually doing is you figure out chords. So in this instrument, there's a chord tutor. So like, let's say you can't figure out how to play a certain chord. You know these books that have pictures of the keyboard. It tells you what notes to play to actually play the chord. We actually have that built into the instrument. So if I go to the second page and under chord tutor, and basically what you see on the top row, you have the root keys.
Okay.
And in this middle section, you choose the different inversions or different coloring of the chord. So, and on the left-hand side, it shows you the actual notes that you'll play on the keyboard and the note representation of that chord.
And you were telling me that, I mean, this is, it is intuitive, it's easy to learn, to where there maybe are people that don't have a lot of experience with chords or harmony or voicing chords, and you could learn to do that with the keyboard, really.
I have to confess, that's how I learned how to play chords.
Oh, really?
I'm not joking.
Wow.
You know, I didn't open books. I went to, because most of our instrument has this function.
Sure.
But the cool thing about the screen, it's much more impressive when you look at it that way.
And you have the sheet music. So if you do read,
exactly.
you know, you have it, but it also is showing you on the keyboard.
Yeah.
So if you want to learn how to voice it that way.
So cool.
That's very neat.
If we get out, so now we're back to square one basically. So you have lyrics, right? And again, we want to do this in normal steps as normal humans do when they write a song.
Right.
So you have lyrics inside your head. you developed the melody already, and you have you already worked out the chord progressions pre-hand, obviously.
Yeah.
For the sake of the video, I think we've done that earlier, so you know what chords to play.
Yeah.
Now, here's where the power of such an instrument comes. It's great that you can play chords, right? But then you need some inspiration, what I call it. You need some backing tracks.
Yep. You need the rest of the band.
And you have no idea what genre this is going to end up in, right?
Yeah, right.
With that in mind, let's start with a drummer. Let's kind of get a groove.
Sure.
And the way it works is these are the categories of the genres of rhythm patterns or styles.
Yeah.
And basically you select one of them and experiment and see what you like.
Well, maybe I'll go into the dance category, because it kind of has, I know that what I have, what's in my head is it comes kind of a groove, right? It's something kind of with a backbeat. It's definitely something that's groovy, something that makes you want to dance a little bit. Let me just look through here. Blues, rock, country, well, maybe fusion. That maybe gets close somehow. That's pretty cool. It's not that bad, but I don't know. I know that this little progression I have is very simple. It could work in a bunch of different styles.
Sure.
And the keyboard allows you to go through. So like if I thought it might work great as a Brazilian pop.
There you go.
Now I'm improvising.
Sure.
But you know, okay, so but I'm thinking of the lyrics I wrote. I'm thinking of kind of some of the melodies in my head. I know that that's probably not the right character. It's cool, but maybe it's not.
It could be.
But it could be.
Sure.
And you know, and that's the thing. If I wanted to keep trying some things, let's see what this one is. Yeah, it's like I'm getting my Joe Beam on.
Yeah. So do you mind if I take a moment to just explain what these buttons
Please do. Yeah, tell us.
So obviously the start and stop speaks for itself. It starts the drummer, right?
Yep.
And then you have basically variations here,
Sure.
A, B, C, and D. And what it is that it changes the complexity of the arrangement.
Right.
So for example, A could be a simple, maybe the drummer playing just a side stick. Whereas D, to the extreme, could be the drummer hitting the snare, but also riding the cymbal, right, for example.
Right.
And then when we turn on the accompaniment, using this button right here, then the rest of the parts, such as bass, guitars, horns, etc., they come in and they will be governed by the chords that you play. And we're going to show this example in a moment, but I thought it would be a good idea to mention that these are intros. You have 3 different intros.
Yep.
You have 4 different variations, and each one will be a fill. This is a break, and you have 3 ending. This is actually very helpful, called sync start, meaning the moment you press it, the band is waiting for you to play a chord, and everybody comes in at the same time.
Perfect.
So now if you play just one chord, so everybody start to play at the same time. And press D again. There's the fill. There you go. Yeah, I mean that's the idea. It's that simple actually.
But yeah,
but
it's fun.
I thought it's important for you to know what these buttons do, because we're gonna use them later.
We are,
sure.
And the intro is similar to the variations, where the higher you go, the more complex. And there's also kind of sort of pre-programmed intros with the full band. But where the first one is like a fill. It's
of a drummer counting as a count.
It gives you a drum fill.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
Very cool. Okay, so maybe I want to, so I know that I'm kind of getting closer to the style I want. I know it's kind of in this R&B/jazz kind of fusion maybe kind of thing. Something, jazz funk and jazz fusion. Let's do jazz funk.
It's pretty cool.
It's cool. It might be, and that's A. That might even be a little too busy in the drums maybe, so let's. Okay. Yeah, and I'm thinking about my my melodies kind of
exactly, because now you're focusing on the lyrics and the melody,
I'm
right?
thinking about my words. I'm thinking about the groove. I like that.
Now, I
Like,
noticed
that's it.
one thing you do is you like to play actually on the keyboards.
Yeah.
And you don't want to restrict yourself where to play the chords. You want to actually use the entire keybed to play the chords. Am I right on that?
Yeah, you are.
Yeah.
Because there's like another section in the chorus where I'm playing with, you know, the bass line in the left hand and the chords here, so that you can make the keyboard pick that up.
Exactly. Yeah. So by default, you have the range below F sharp right here, where the chord is understood in this section.
Right.
But let's change that. Let's do two things actually now.
Okay.
Let's change the split point to B, for example,
Okay.
and then tell the instrument that pick up the chords from all over the keys, just like a piano. So let me show you how to do that. We'll go to the menu. And in the first page of the menu, we'll go to split and fingering. And under fingering type, we'll choose a full keyboard. Cool. So now, so no matter where you play the chords, it's going to pick up. But let's change one more thing. Let's change the split point to B, because that's where you want, right?
Yes.
And let's get out. Yeah. So let's try that now.
Okay, so. Oh yeah, it's getting all of it. That's really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So so now you're using, no matter where you play on the keyboard, when the moment you play actually a triad chord, it's going to pick it up. So it allows it to actually be a little bit more flexible for sure.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So like because some people may, and I find a lot of times when people are, you know, songwriters, if you're messing around with sort of simple chords and a progression, you're probably playing kind of a left-hand bass and maybe something in the mid-range of the piano. So if you don't know kind of closed position voicings, it's not going to limit you.
Correct.
You can
Exactly.
still,
So this gives you the flexibility for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, it's very cool.
So does that make sense so far?
It does make sense.
Yeah. I mean, there are a couple of things we change in the settings, but those changes I think, will make your performance more simplified.
Yeah.
And more important, it gets you to focus on the lyrics and the melody of the song.
Yep.
You don't want to think about the technology. You want to think about actually the process. Remember, this is done for songwriters, because typically, you know, you want to sit down and be inspired and create a song and then listen to it again and again and change a few things, or maybe overdub a couple of sounds on top of it. And that's the whole idea of creating a song. And then maybe replace one of those sounds with an acoustic instrument.
Okay, so I messed around with the sounds. I've kind of tweaked some things. I like what I've got. I want to record something, right? So take me through that. What do I do?
What do we do this? Go ahead and press the record button.
Okay. So recording.
That's right. And go to
multi-track. Multi-record.
Yeah.
And I've got 16 tracks.
Exactly. And at the beginning, let's capture just the basic, and then maybe later on I'll show you some cool functions that you can basically overdub and change other recordings that you can do. Okay. So the way it works is you're going to touch on the record icon. Yep. So it arms all 16 tracks ready to go. And I thought we should start with an intro number 1.
Yeah, the drum fill.
The drum fill, exactly what we talked about. And you can do like a sync start, or just press
start. I think I'll press start so I can play the first chord in time.
Exactly.
All right, here we go.
That's killer, man. That's awesome. So,
thank you.
You know, but there's a lot of things we can do to this.
Right.
So number one, as you notice, is you were playing on section A throughout.
Right. I
But
want some drum fills and stuff.
you want some drum fills, you want some augmentation in the arrangement, something a bit more elaborate, basically.
Yeah.
So the cool thing, actually, you can actually replace now the drums that you recorded with the new recording, and you can actually press the buttons and it would record all that.
Wow.
The way it
That's
works
very cool.
is, so I'm going to arm just the drum and the percussion.
Okay.
Like so. We're going to stop it from recording first. So we'll go to...
Just arm those two.
Yep, are those ready to go?
Yeah.
So now if you press just basically the start,
Yeah.
you'll be ready to go. And then you can basically press these buttons and embellish, and it
Very
will
cool.
record all these changes.
So I think I want to start with pattern D this time.
Oh, sure. Make
So
sure
start
that you're
with
intro
D.
number one.
Intro number one,
There you
pattern
go.
D. Yeah, let's give it a go.
Yeah.
That was pretty cool.
Yeah, I reached over to you and I was just like trying to embellish.
It was perfect. And to be honest, this is a new song I've been working on.
Sure.
So like I'm still like trying out ideas and also kind of thinking in the moment. So the cool thing is, like in that case, I was kind of playing and you were reaching and changing some stuff. But if I wanted to just record the part and I didn't think I wanted to play and add all those fills and all that stuff,
yeah.
I could go just record that later, right?
How about this? Let's do that actually.
Okay,
So
yeah.
we're happy with the drums. I don't think we need to change them, but you could. You can actually go back and re-record the drums just by themselves.
It will record your performance of the variations, the breaks,
Exactly.
the intros,
all the
right.
button pushes, basically.
All the button stuff.
But to keep it in context, why don't we
Yeah.
just re-record the E-pianos?
Sure.
Does that work?
Yeah, that
Let's
sounds
do it.
great.
Okay. So since you recorded the E-piano, which is on track number one, so I'm
Yeah.
just going to touch on arming it.
Sure.
Basically hit record. It's in red right now.
Yeah.
And it's in replace.
Okay.
So I'm not punching in, I'm not punching out, right?
Right.
It's basically whenever you start recording, it's going to replace what you just recorded. Make
Right.
sense?
Yeah, makes
Yeah.
sense.
So we hit play, and whenever.
And I want to turn this off because I don't want to record chords now.
Exactly, because now you're actually just using the sound. You're not using the accompaniment
Yep.
because the accompaniment parts have been recorded already. Make sense?
Gotcha.
Yeah. So whenever you're ready, let me know.
Okay.
Ready?
Yeah, ready to
Here
go.
we go. So we're done with the EP. Are you happy with that?
Oh, I was
I
happy
dig
with that.
too, man. It's
Yeah,
awesome.
I was happy with that.
Maybe pianos now.
Sure, yeah.
Not because there is pianos in here.
Right. Yeah. I'm just kind of hearing it more as just like something that's a fill here or there.
Yeah.
Something really simple.
Yeah, exactly. So
Yeah.
it's not the main part, basically.
Right.
So let's do that. The way it works is we choose the right 1, right 2, right 3 to use to record in. So since we're on right 2, we choose right 2, right? Now let's choose the instrument. You touch on right 2 above here,
Yeah.
and we want piano.
Sure.
And we're in the piano category, and you press enter or exit, and it shows a picture of a piano. It's an on record,
Cool.
right?
Yeah.
So now just basically hit play, and accompaniment is off.
Sure.
Same thing as what we did with the A piano.
Now, if I know there's only the one part that I want to record, there's just like one part at the end of my chorus. Can I just skip ahead to that
Oh
spot?
yeah. Instead of starting from the beginning, right? Yeah,
maybe
sure. So just
I would
use,
push stop. I would go to
and here it shows you the timer basically.
the bars.
The bars.
Right. So I can maybe start like about measure 20. I think
Sure.
I know where that. Let's see. Yep, that's a good place
That
to
works?
start. Sure. So I'll start there.
You can just actually hold it and it will advance.
Oh yeah, look
That's
at
pretty
that.
cool, huh?
That is cool. Okay, so maybe I'll start about 20.
And then
so
arm
then
it.
just arm that second track,
And then hit play.
hit play, and I'm ready to
touch
go.
play.
Okay. Yeah.
That was that easy.
Yeah, it sounds
Yeah.
great, but it's easy to do.
Yeah.
That's glissandos.
How about this? How about we just do one last part, which are the brasses,
Yeah, sure.
right? Or the
Yeah.
horns. And
Yeah.
then we can move on to the next part of the song, maybe get your voice in, and
Yeah.
maybe get the live bass in to replace.
Yeah, let's do that.
Cool. So same thing. Why don't you do the button pushes, and I'll make sure that you're doing them right.
So we can make it track 3. we could
Exactly,
say.
yep.
Okay. So and we want to record right 2.
So you're gonna
same
choose
as-
which of these are using to actually record in. So let's choose right 3 by
Okay,
itself.
right 3.
So touch it again.
Touch again. We're gonna go right 3.
Yeah.
And now we're gonna pick.
You're gonna the way to choose the instrument, you press the button above that, and it
Press
takes
it.
you to the sound categories.
Gotcha.
Yep.
So we're gonna go to brass. Let's see. I think I was playing around with one of the like brass sections, like pop horns. There's so many horns, by the way. It's crazy.
Sure.
The orchestra horns. Yeah, crescendo. So
Yeah. And then I have to tell you something.
No.
There was one chord there. I wasn't sure what that
Yeah.
was.
Yeah, it was a little crunchy. Yeah.
So would you like to just punch in, punch out at that one bar instead of
Will be
right?
convenient.
Because we don't want to record the whole thing again, obviously,
No,
because
we don't
everything
have
was
to.
perfect.
Right.
So now first I have to set it up first.
Okay.
So instead of under replace, right
Yeah.
here,
Uh-huh.
so we'll go to punch in at 15.
And you can pick the bar.
Pick the bar of in and out, obviously, and then punch out at 16. Let's do that. Make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense.
And then close that, and then let's advance to, let's say, bar 10.
Sure.
Is that good enough?
Yep.
Yep. So now it's gonna play, right,
Mm-hmm.
to bar 15, and it's gonna drop into a record, and then drop out of record at 16. And here we go. So it armed it automatically for you.
What if I wanted to add another track that was clav, just on the just after we get out of that, just that very last section?
We can, honestly, the whole thing, you still have additional tracks.
Yeah.
Because the style takes up 8 tracks, you know,
Right.
for the percussion,
Oh,
the
okay.
drums, the bass.
Yeah.
So far you used up 3, so
Right.
you have additional basically 5 to add more,
okay.
more, you know, more tracks on top of that if you want to.
Very
for
cool.
sure. Yeah, but I think now it's important time to save it, because every time
Sure.
you work with a song,
Oh.
you never know what's going on. So I think it's important to save.
Yeah.
So let me show you how to do that. So go ahead
Okay.
and touch on where it says save,
Sure.
and then touch on save here,
Save here.
and give it a name, something
Yeah.
that you
Okay.
know what it is.
Call it Heratch Jam.
Oh boy, well thanks for the credit.
I'll
man. I
name it
appreciate
after
that.
you.
Now, what do you say about doing a couple of really cool things to the instrument?
Mm-hmm,
Number one is maybe since you play the bass, maybe recording a live bass?
Yeah, I would definitely like to, and the stock bass, the parts that are in there, all of them are cool.
Sure.
And like you said, for giving inspiration for when you're in the middle of the songwriting thing, it's great for that. But like if you do play bass, obviously a live player playing something, personality, you can make it unique.
Exactly.
So I would like to do that.
Cool. So let's move on to the next step. I'll show you how to save it to a USB drive. So again, just put a USB drive in the back. And here's the name of the song, right?
Yeah.
And what we do is under menu, under file, we copy. And this is the USB drive, and we just copy here. It's that simple. Now it
Very
shows up, I take that out. So let's lay down the bass, right?
Yep.
So I have the song on the USB drive connected to my computer. I have Cubase AI open. I have a UR interface with Rupert Neve transformers, which AI comes with it, by the way.
Yeah.
And I'll go to project. I'll import a simple MIDI file, which what we did. And the name of the song is such. And we open. And as you can see, it opens all the tracks that we've done and puts them on separate stems.
So cool.
Cool. Awesome. So let me close this and open up one that we have a couple of tracks ready for the bass. So I'm just going to create an audio track. We'll call it bass, for example. And we'll monitor and arm it. And the way just to explain to people the connections, we're actually using the PSR-SX900 speakers as monitors because we're going out of the output of the interface into the aux in.
So that's very cool. Like if you're somebody that does know a DAW, you know, you work with Cubase and you want to go back and forth. You don't need to go back and forth from computer monitors to an amp, or you can just do it all here.
Correct.
Which is really awesome.
And Cubase is connected via USB to the keyboard. So now if I play it actually without the bass, just to prove the point, that's what we're recorded, right?
Right.
Yeah. So now if I go back to the top, and you're ready to record, yeah.
And so and we'll take the bass out.
Exactly.
Bass.
So I'll mute the bass that was recorded, and whenever you're ready.
Yeah. Ready.
Awesome. Here we go. And. That's cool.
That was fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. But then the cool thing is, you know, I can go back, I can punch in and out, I can overdub, do all the stuff I can do with a DAW, but I started here.
Exactly.
And all the tracks are in there.
The whole idea, how long did it take you to get there? Almost no time. I know we were talking to, quite a bit between.
We're learning at the same time.
Yeah. But once you do this a couple of times, it's really super fast. So to do vocals, Jacob, there are a couple of things we can do. We can record your vocal without any harmonization, but you could, if you play chords, just for example purposes, just play any chords and sing, and you actually can hear your vocal being harmonized. So let me make sure that you're set up. Yeah, try it. Cool. And there are different presets of vocal harmonization from vocoder, etc. And we can go through that till tomorrow. But the idea now, the cool thing is, the song that we recorded has chord progressions in it, so you don't have to play those.
Right.
You're just going to sing, and those chords will basically harmonize itself.
That's very cool.
So let's record your vocal without any harmonization in the verse.
Sure.
Let's do it.
Yeah. I said, where have I gone? Where have I been? What will I try or will I give in? Will I be good or will I be bad? Will I give up or will I be sad?
This is one of the best tools for songwriters to create songs quickly.
I completely agree. I love it. I've liked playing it. Again, we talked about the touch of the keyboard. The sounds in it are all great too.
Yeah.
That's the thing. I mean, like all the different attacks you can get with the brass and all the different styles and the layers. I mean, you can really just like create a band around you, and it sounds really great.
Great, man.
I've enjoyed it a lot. Dude, thanks so much for
awesome.
coming.
That was awesome.
Again, you're like an expert. You totally know what this thing does. It's been a fun experience for me.
My pleasure. We had a great time too.
Yeah.
Thank you
and
so much.
Thank you all for watching. And you guys should remember, and we've talked about this, Heratch, you work very closely with Sweetwater all the time.
I do.
You talk to customers, you talk to sales engineers. You're dealing, with all those guys there. So you can actually help some of our fans out.
Yeah, so I know the instruments pretty well. So a lot of times I get a call from the sales engineer that a customer is probably having a difficult time understanding one technology part of our instrument. And via email, and sometimes actually I'm able to call the customer directly to make them understand the technology that's inside of our instrument. So anything I can do through Sweetwater, of course, it'll be my pleasure for sure.
That's awesome. Well, again, thanks for coming, and everybody remember you can always call your Sweetwater sales engineer to help you out if you're interested in any Yamaha products. Thanks so much for watching.
Thank you.
Where have I gone? Where have I been? What will I try? Will I give in? Will I be good or will I be bad? Will I give up or will I be sad? Will I make peace? Will I make